Folks, it's best of the bunch. You guys, what a best of the bunch I have for you today. Whereas Bright decided to try to deal with modern social issues and just entirely whiffed it, there's another movie that came out recently that knocked it out of the park. You're going to think I am messing with you, but that movie, one of the best movies I have seen this year, is Paddington 2. Paddington 2 is amazing. This is, of course, the sequel to Paddington, the story of the classic children's character Paddington Bear, a little bear who lives in the city of London with a human family and gets himself in over his head but always comes out on top. Now, I saw Paddington. Can't remember if we've talked about Paddington on this show or not, but here's what I got to tell you. Paddington was good. Paddington 2, defying all of the odds, was great. Now, like I said, I liked Paddington, so I was expecting to like Paddington 2, but being a sequel, you're kind of like, so what? This is going to be like more of the same or something? No, 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 no. This is a movie that so improves upon the first one. I can't tell you. I'm so excited to tell you guys about how great Paddington 2 is. It is a masterful and touching movie that starts out very much as a sequel to Paddington. Paddington is still living in London with his adopted family. Things are going fine. Everyone loves him. You know, he has these great relationships with his neighbors in the neighborhood. He is a very heartwarming and touching character. And he wants to buy his grandma, who lives in the home for retired bears, a birthday present, because she's always wanted to visit London. So he sets his heart on a pop-up book of London to send her. So it's kind of like she's visiting London. It is, however, an antique pop-up book. It costs $1,000. So Paddington launches a window washing service to earn the money for the book. So far, standard issue, heartwarming, cute, nice, whatever. Here's where it gets real. Hugh Grant is in this movie. And I like Hugh Grant fine, but he's never been my favorite. This is a late career Hugh Grant revelation. Hugh Grant is so great in this movie, guys. He's the villain of the piece. He is a retired actor, and he plays everything just big enough. He is not chewing the scenery. He is also not underplaying things. He knows the movie he's in, and he somehow just surgically dials in his performance so perfectly to play a kooky, colorful character that is also completely understandable as the egotistical villain of the piece, a has-been actor who spends not a lot of this movie, but great scenes in this movie in the costume room of his house, because he has a room of his old costumes, talking to himself and doing the voices and accents of the other parts that he's played so that Scrooge and Macbeth and Hamlet serve as a sort of Greek chorus to his plot to steal this pop-up book and use it to find a treasure that will allow him to stage his comeback in the West End. Silly, right? Here's the deal. Hugh Grant's super successful in this movie. He steals that pop-up book, and he frames our friend Paddington. Now, spoilers abound, and I feel ways about spoiling this movie for you because I loved it so much. But I'm not sure that a lot of you are going to see it just based on my saying it's great. So I'm going to tell you what happens. If you don't want to know, turn off the show. If you're curious, stay tuned, because guys, this is a movie where 20 minutes into it, they send Paddington Bear to prison. And Paddington spends a significant portion of this movie in prison with criminals. It's nuts. And here's the best part. Paddington gets to prison, and it's, it's a children's movie, so it's not like Shawshank Redemption. But it's, a gray and sad place where the prisoners are unhappy, the guards are unhappy, right? And they all eat gruel. And then Paddington introduces his famous marmalade sandwiches to the chef, and the prison changes, you guys. Because here's the thing, it becomes bright and cheery with pastels, and he makes friends, and they turn the canteen into like a cute, sunny eatery and things. It is, in this part, it is a movie about the possibilities of, instead of a punitive prison system, of a reformatory prison system. But that's only the tip of the iceberg, because ultimately this is a movie about how Paddington makes everyone's lives better. There's this great scene in the middle of the movie where the neighborhood is dealing with that Paddington is gone and has been arrested. And in this very beautiful masterstroke, calling back to a scene earlier where you see how he interacts with everybody and how much everybody loves him, you see what his absence means and how everyone in the neighborhood's lives are markedly worse for his not being around. It is, and I think this is an important thing for today, it is a story about the greatness of the immigrant experience and how much immigrant populations can benefit the worlds that accept them into it, right? By embracing Paddington, everyone is better for it. And this is a movie, a very optimistic movie about immigrants and immigration that I think everyone should see for at least that side of the story. It is, like I said, hugely touching. It never talks down to you. The story is not simply told or thinly veiled or beating you over the head with things. It's just a movie that you watch and let all of it wash over you and watch the effect that Paddington has on his world, hopefully grow your heart just a little bit. It is a movie with just perfect characters and characterization, wonderfully charming and very funny. Paddington 2 is 5 stars.